You're listening to DraftKings Network.
This is the Dan Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
That's actually, I'm going to disguise my own decline by just making that a character. So I can do this well into my 80s.
I'm trying to come up
where
with
I can just be,
Carol Raskin is really, she's really burying me, Carol Raskin. Like, that seems extreme to go from that to headband, Laker guy, likes tacos.
Yeah.
Like,
who's he, he's familiar with the offense because Broncos failure. That's his face. Ball guy.
All right, let's just do it that way. I agree with you. That's how I'm going to start doing it. Thank you for all your production help. I appreciate you disguising my
Hired a coach to call timeouts. Remember that? Who's this guy?
Clock management guy. Hire somebody.
It's actually just me doing recall with Hank Goldberg, only he would just get the wrong name and you'd be too afraid to correct him.
Yep.
Joe Biden turned 81 and had 81 candles on the cake. Did I get fooled by the internet? Or was that a real
was
thing?
looking in the break to see if that was real also. Because it looked like a forest fire was about to start.
You just have to get the 8 and the 1. That's what you have to do.
Thank you, Stugotz. Yes, you are absolutely correct, Stugotz. I want to know, is it real or is it not real?
If that's real, don't put 81 candles on fire in front of Joe Biden. We need to get to November.
His lungs can't handle the blowing.
That's correct.
It seems like a risk that we should not be taking.
Can you tell me, did I get ball sacked by the White House or is it real? Tell me, please, that there was a cake with 81 candles on it. Please tell me that is a real thing, because that is too many candles. What is the cutoff on candles, honestly? It's like, once you're in double digits, you're in a dangerous area. Are you not anything in double digits?
You got to just start buying the candle when that's the number.
That's correct.
I mean, what are we doing here?
That's what I said. Steve Martin.
That is what Stugotz just said. It said it a little bit differently, but not much differently.
What is the cutoff? Because if you're 12, you still like birthdays, you still want a cake, you still want your 12 candles. I feel like 12 is probably the cutoff.
Billy, what did your investigation reveal? Stugotz has now said he's got further reporting on the Chris Cody report from before he has talked to Joe Thomas. It is not a timeshare. It's an Airbnb in Mexico. Yeah. Get your facts right, please.
Straight, yeah.
Yes, thank you. Billy, what's this investigation revealing?
I'm seeing the same picture that you saw. I'm just kind of seeing what the source of this
picture is. It can't be real.
Is. It's
okay.
crazy if
I
it's
hope
real.
it's real. I need it to be real. I want it to be real.
That's a small cake.
That is an inferno in front of
Get
the
him away from that. Get him out of there.
Yeah,
Get him out of the room.
You would think they'd go bigger cake for all those candles.
Okay, so this is what I can tell you. Joe Biden's official Instagram has that photo on it. Okay. So it seems real.
He just joined Threads yesterday. I saw that.
That is 81 candles.
Still trying to make that happen.
That can't be real. This is a security risk.
It's also like he has to blow out 81 candles. And hopefully the person who thought this was a good idea didn't think, like, let's get him with the trick candles also, because, like, then he may die.
Does not have the lung capacity for that. Get that cake away from that man.
An aide is coming in with a fire extinguisher at the end of that. You can't blow that out. There was an inferno on his lap.
Where's his body, man?
Are we back to being able to blow on cakes? Because it's a new thing now.
What do you mean?
It's like ever since COVID, like the way people do the weird thing where it's like, I don't want to touch it. It's like just blowing the damn
Don't
cake.
take away my blowing of cakes.
It's just ridiculous. Someone's sitting there for like 10 minutes trying to like get a thing out. It's like, just
You
blow
will
on.
not cancel that.
Mulkey said I'm fine.
Can we get that video, please? Thank you. Excellent transition.
Ooh,
Billy.
I like her.
Maybe the greatest in show history.
Yes, well done. Let's get that video now, please.
Patriot talking.
This is a good story because, it's an interesting story.
No, good.
Angel Reese. That might have been good.
Outside of the women's basketball.
The Angel Reese story is interesting. She's disappeared. I think
She's disappeared?
Huh.
Very quietly, a champion player for a champion team is not playing.
We should look into this. If she
Like she's missing? Or
Yeah.
Like,
No, this is a good story. We'll inform you right now. This
Missing from play.
huge NIL athlete, probably up there with Caitlin Clark. It's funny how in the United States, the collegiate basketball is the main stage. It's bigger than pro basketball. And Angel Reese is one of, certainly on the Mount Rushmore right now, of known women's basketball players in this country. And she has not been appearing for LSU basketball, and people have been wondering.
Yeah, so she's been out for 2.5 games now, and she sat out against Kent State and then didn't play again yesterday, and there started to be these rumors that Angel Reese didn't have like the grade eligibility to play. So Kim Mulkey came out, coughed all over everybody, and said that it's none of their business.
All right, hold on. Let's play.
She's blowing out cakes.
Yes, look at this. She will happily, blow out cakes even if she's not invited to your party. Let's listen to this because she's just hacking on everybody and making jokes.
I ain't a sissy. I don't have allergies. I got some kind of cold. It might be COVID, but I ain't testing. No, it's sinus. I don't know what you call it. Allergies, flu. I don't know. So if y'all get the flu, blame me during Thanksgiving, right?
God, I hope she's single.
Can we listen again?
Traditional American values.
Are those tassels? I just want to hear on the microphone. What was funny is as she's getting up, I think the fabrics on her.
Do you have a sister?
On her top are hitting her blazer and making sounds that you can hear as the ambient noise.
Hubba bubba.
I ain't a sissy. I don't have allergies. I got some kind of cold. It might be COVID, but I ain't testing.
Damn right, sister.
No, it's sinus. I don't know what you call it. Allergies, flu. I don't know. So if y'all get the flu, blame me during Thanksgiving, right?
It's a combination of tassels and crumpling up a paper. That's what it is.
And tassels is probably not what those are called.
Strong leader.
Yeah, tassels would be the right term for that.
But that is the sound.
Freedom flare.
Yeah.
Is freedom flare. Okay, that's better than tassels. But the Angel Reese story. She's got, Stugotz, this one's interesting, okay? You've got Mulkey's a champion. She is a personality in a sport that has gotten very big, very fast, has gotten, not that fast, but now valuable as well. She's a face and voice and the player empowerment in her sport. She's got a star.
Yes.
She's got a star who's made a deal with Shaq. Shaquille O'Neal is now the president of a sneaker company, and I don't know whether she's going to class or not going to class, but we're at an age where if these people don't want to be going to class, students don't want to be going to class, they're making so much. Yeah, but you're going to see some of these people, and I'm scared of Joe Zagacki there.
So this started back before the school year even started because Angel said that she was too famous that like she couldn't go to class because, you know, it was a distraction, people would recognize her. So she was like, I'm only taking online classes. Then, like recently this week, her mom posted something on her Instagram story about Flage's mom, who's another player on the LSU basketball team, who's also very talented, also worth a lot of money, about her grammar. So Flage's mom responded and said, like, how can you talk about grammar when your daughter has under a 2.0 GPA? And so that's where the rumors of the GPA started. Kim Mulkey didn't address whether that was the issue or not.
No, but she said the issue's obvious. Mulkey has said that the reason that her star player isn't around, that the reason's obvious, but she's not telling us what the reason is while coughing and laughing about COVID. She's not, we don't know the reason.
No, we don't know the reason, and Angel Reese has not been silent through this. She did tweet, please don't believe everything you read, and that's all we've heard from Angel Reese. She's still been like posting on social media. She hasn't actually disappeared. She just hasn't been playing for LSU, and she hasn't been at the games either.
Nice steak night at the Sizzler.
What does the rest of that night look like? Sizzler salad bar, baked potato.
Did you hear Dollaritas are back?
Shrimp scampi.
Oh, the scampi.
I feel remorse and shame in what it is I'm presently telling you, but every time I see a Sizzler, I am made deeply happy.
What?
Because that was wealth and riches in my childhood, that salad bar. That salad bar was an opulent buffet
You went there for the salad,
from heaven. So much blue cheese.
Maybe take her to the melting pot.
Oh, fondue.
And we fondid.
That Sizzler in North Miami Beach on 163rd, right next to the Krispy Kreme. Oh, yeah.
How many Sizzlers are there? How many? There can't be.
There was
that many
one in
left.
Salt Lake City.
I think there's just one.
I went.
That's
went
none
to,
of this is none of the information you guys are giving is close to accurate.
I went to a Sizzler with Juju Gotti in Utah.
That's a great sentence.
Yeah. Their salad bar had chicken wings.
That's what I'm telling you.
That's why you like
their
it.
salad bar at a taco station.
Yes. What?
I made nachos at their salad bar.
Yes. Well, my mother proclaimed the Sizzler salad bar the greatest meal that anyone on earth could have.
There's 10 in Puerto Rico.
Well, that's not America. And they try to lie to themselves. But it ain't.
Florida has one remaining in Kissimmee.
One? One?
I don't think it does. I'm on the Sizzler website for locations, unless it's like privately owned.
Kissimmee. Kissimmee. Kiss me. I dig her. Hey, it's Mike here, and I want to talk to you about Miller Lite, because Miller Lite is the perfect beer for all occasions. But as the weather gets a little bit cooler, we get into something that's called football weather. And what goes with football? Miller time. So, you have football weather, you have football, and now you have the perfect beer to complement all these wonderful things coming together. Miller Lite is my favorite beer. It's my go-to. Anytime I'm watching football, it's what I go for immediately. If it's not around, I'm upset that it's not around, and it's only got 96 calories, folks, and 3.2 carbs per 12-ounce serving, with a smooth taste and a crisp, clean finish. You get the taste that you crave without the calories. Make it Miller time all season long. Get Miller Lite delivered right to your door. Visit MillerLite.com/Dan, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Kentucky Fried Chicken's 2 for $5 wraps are back. And they're even introducing a new mac and cheese chicken wrap. Are you kidding me? Mac and cheese in a wrap? Two of my favorite things in the entire world. That is in addition to the classic and spicy slaw wraps. Creamy mac and cheese, a hand-breaded crispy chicken tender, and 3 cheese blend, all wrapped in a pillowy tortilla. God, do I love a pillowy tortilla. Order ahead on the app and cheer on tasty goodness with KFC's 2 for $5 wraps. It's finger looking good.
Don Le Batard.
Enough with the DJ Khaled collaborations with people that are hot right now. Yeah. We want to see DJ Khaled work with some of the great singers of yesteryear. Can you imagine how great it would be if DJ Khaled started bringing out special guests onto the stage, and one of them was Brian Adams? Hey, everyone, it's Liza Minnelli.
Stugotz.
Barbara Streisand, yeah. Elton John, it's your song. Andrea Bocelli. Another one, Tony Bennett. Frankie Avalon.
Thomas Dolby is blinding you with science.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Brian Stelter has been on with us before, and he's got a book out right now that is very popular, Network of Lies, the epic saga of Fox News, Donald Trump, and the battle for American democracy. Thank you, Brian, for joining us. I should tell the audience.
Thank you.
He is also a former media correspondent at the New York Times and CNN, and a special correspondent for Vanity Fair. Let's begin with the idea of Tucker Carlson and Elon Musk merging, and Tucker Carlson possibly being a running mate for Donald Trump. Can you give me an idea of how real any of that is?
I do not think Tucker will be the VP, but I think he wants to be thought about that way. He wants to be viewed as a political kingmaker, a political star, and that's why he's out there hanging out with Donald Trump. Remember, Tucker Carlson called Trump a demonic force, a destroyer, but now they have this bromance going on because they need each other. They need each other's fans and audiences.
Is that what is also happening with Tucker and Musk?
I think so. I think that's what's the network in Network of Lies. It's bigger than just Fox. It's also about the mis and disinformation that Musk and his friends share on that platform. And that's where Tucker is now. He's hanging out, making videos for X. He's not nearly as popular as he was on Fox, but honestly, that's because the Fox audience, 65, 75, 85 years old, they're not really hanging out on Twitter or X. You know what I mean?
What in your book is new or learned about Tucker's exit at Fox?
I say in the book that it wasn't just one thing. They didn't get rid of him for just one reason. It was everything. It was every reason. It was like any bad breakup. When one person finally decides to dump the other person, it's been building for years, and there's dozens of reasons why it happens, even though sometimes there's like a last affair or betrayal that actually caused it. That's what happened. He was intolerable for lots of reasons. He was rude behind the scenes. He was airing conspiracy theories and lies on the air. Lachlan Murdoch just decided he had had enough.
In our sphere, we have learned as a company that leaving ESPN gave us more value than we had at ESPN. Tucker Carlson's value is where outside of Fox?
He's different because he's in limbo. He's had this complicated contractual situation with Fox. Fox has sent him some threatening legal letters. So he's not able, right now, he's not fully doing whatever his new thing is. But he is lining up investor money and advertiser deals, and I would not count him out. I think he's going to be able to build something pretty real and significant, maybe next year in time for the 2024 election. But right now, I think he's stuck in that in-between.
You were reporting this book while covering the defamation suit by Dominion Voting Systems. End result of that, I know that we wanted to see the real stuff. How disappointing was it that for the ending of your book that lawsuit was settled at the last minute?
I was actually thrilled because instead of having a 6-week trial where people were going to hear about this all spring long, I got to save a lot of the good stuff for the book. Look, you're right that there were some exhibits, some documents that were redacted that will now be redacted forever. That's one of the reasons why Fox paid almost $800 million. They had some pretty ugly secrets that they wanted to keep buried. But here's the truth. 600, 700 pages of this material was published in plain view. It was hard to find unless you have a login for a Wilmington, Delaware database. You can't really go and read it. But that's why I did it. I was able to go and read all these emails. And what you realize is these people are just all too human. They're greedy, they're selfish. All they care about are their ratings or their love lives. I guess that's everybody, right? To some degree, but that's what was so weird about reconstructing this scene, this period for the book, is that all these people, they all just want whatever's best for them, I guess.
When you were sifting through the stuff and mining, what do you regard as the most interesting things you discovered?
There were really revealing emails about these Fox stars saying what seems to be the truth about Donald Trump, but that they never say on the air. Laura Ingraham, the 10 p.m. host, now 7 p.m. host, saying Trump's always on a grievance loop running in his head. Tucker Carlson saying, he could have won the election. He would have won the election in 2020 if he had focused on law and order and reopening the schools. Like, sometimes I feel like these Fox stars are better politicians than the actual politicians because they're on every day trying to win viewers and voters every single day. On the other hand, of course, that causes them to go into really extreme and radical territory and push really wild conspiracy theories that actually hurt the Republican Party. And that's the other big takeaway in the book here is, Republicans keep losing. It's partly because of Fox. Remember the red wave in 2022 that never actually came? I actually put a lot of the blame for that on Fox for misleading the audience.
What can you tell me about these people as calculated actors, professional actors?
Calculated actors. You mean, do they really mean what they say?
I'm saying this in two ways. I'm saying calculated actors in trying to instigate for the sense of provocation, and calculated actors like professional thespians.
Yes. Well, look, there is obviously a performative aspect to television, and some of these hosts on right-wing TV are better at it than others. I once went out to lunch with one of these guys, and I realized that he really does treat it like he's an actor. He practices his lines ahead of time in the mirror. And I got to be honest, I was at CNN 9 years. I never sat in the mirror and practiced my script like I wanted to, perform it on stage. Like I was just trying to report the news. But you're right. Some of these, folks in the network of lies, they really do think of themselves as actors, and they also they're not always buying what they're selling. They're not always high on their own supply. I think the scariest people are the ones that are the people that actually believe what they're saying. When Maria Bartiromo's on the air and she actually believes Trump is the winner of the election, to me that shows a lack of common sense and critical thinking skills.
What are the things about your book that people are talking to you the most about? What are they finding illuminating? What is the reporting producing for you that they have further questions on because it stimulates their curiosities?
I think the big question I keep getting asked is Rupert Murdoch, is he dumb or is he just playing dumb? And I'm sorry, Rupert, if you're listening, 92 years old, he's got nothing better to do than listen to us while he's on his yacht somewhere, right? But he seems to play dumb in a lot of these messages. He was deposed by Dominion's lawyers for 7 hours. It's the only time he's ever been interviewed in like a decade. And he sounded like he didn't know what happened on his own network. He sounded like he didn't know who the key players were. It sounded like he barely understands how Fox News works. So is that really the truth under oath, or was he just playing dumb? Like, in other words, is he really not in charge? Is he really just sitting back enjoying his mansions? And look, maybe he is.
Is it possible? Like, which way would you guess on that one?
I think he has allowed the leadership team at Fox to have too much leeway. Like, he's given them too much rope. He likes to be distant. You remember in Succession, Lucas Madison says he's hiring a pain sponge. This is the billionaire character. He doesn't want to deal with all the dirty stuff, so he hires a pain sponge. That's what Rupert Murdoch does. He has a lot of pain sponges.
How much are the Murdochs really like Succession?
Succession is crazier, of course. Dramas always are. I'm a producer on the morning show on Apple TV Plus, and thankfully, the Today Show and Good Morning America are not as nuts as the morning show on Apple. But I think what is true about Succession is that when Rupert Murdoch dies, the 4 adult children are going to fight over the companies, and we don't know how that's going to play out. No one knows how it's going to play out.
Rupert's retired, semi-retired?
Semi-retired. It's taking effect this week, actually. Rupert says he's still going to be actively involved, but what he's doing is he's stepping aside from the boards of his companies because he wants to show the world that he really believes in his son Lachlan, that he really wants Lachlan to be the face of the companies. But for as long as Rupert is on this earth, he is going to be involved.
How much are these other networks that are going off into the further fringes of the extreme impacting Fox?
Well, I think they're all nipping at Fox's heels. They're all biting around the edges, and none of those bites are fatal, but they're all kind of painful. They all hurt a little bit. Newsmax and Steve Bannon and the Daily Wire, that's the network part of this story. And it's an echo chamber, right? If they all say the same thing, if all a dozen different places all tell you the sky is falling, then you're going to start to look up and wonder. And that's ultimately why I think this contributes to a real coarsening of the discourse and makes it harder for us to all go have Thanksgiving next week and actually agree on anything.
What do you view as the smartest things Fox has done and the most evil of the things Fox has done?
Oh, I can't say evil. What's the smartest thing they've done? Look, they put on a great TV show. Just as a viewer, they light up the screen. It's the same way you guys do. The visuals, the colors, the effects, the production values. Fox is very good at putting on a good show. And, credit to them for that. What's the worst part? I think the worst part is when Donald Trump lost an election, he said he pretended to win it. And Fox fell along with it and went along with the lie and promoted the lie. And they promoted it for months to the point where some people bought plane tickets, flew across the country to Washington, D.C., and stormed our Capitol. I think that's pretty bad.
In retrospect, when you went through everything that you went through and learned what you did about that part of the election and being complicit on helping something that felt like it was threatening democracy, what were the parts that made you feel aghast just as an American citizen, never mind as a journalist?
Here's what really drove me crazy when I was reconstructing this. Sean Hannity knew what was going to happen. Let me rephrase. I want to be polite to Sean. Sean Hannity was worried about what might happen on January 6th. He was so worried that on New Year's Eve, and again on January 5th, he's texting Mark Meadows, the White House chief of staff, warning that Trump is getting bad advice. He's getting bad information. You've got Sean Hannity, who is the closest of all of Trump's friends at Fox, saying, I'm really worried about the next 48 hours. So I want to know, what was in Sean's head? What did he hear from Donald Trump? What did he think Trump was planning? How much did Hannity know about the coup attempt? Hannity's never talked about this publicly. He's never revealed what he knows about Trump's state of mind. But thanks to these investigations, we've been able to read his text messages. So we know he was worried about January 6th. That's the kind of stuff that grinds my gears because, you have a responsibility if you're a broadcaster, not just a journalist. He's not a journalist, but, he's a broadcaster. He's out there winning the trust of his viewers. He had a responsibility, I think, to speak up, and he didn't.
Does he, though?
I think he does. I think he does because, we should all look out for each other. This is about more than politics. It's about more than red versus blue. It's about having a shared reality. It's about having common ground rather than, watching us tear each other apart and ended up with, someone smearing feces in the Capitol.
The reason I ask, does he have a responsibility, is because where are you drawing the line on that? Recusing yourself at that stage,
right.
Like where is once you've gone down this path, you've shed a lot of the responsibility on everything you're doing.
You're 100% right, and that's Hannity's brand. He is a Republican cheerleader. He exists in order to defeat Democrats and elect Republicans. That's true, but I wish that there were still aspects in our country, in our society, that were about more than just elections, more than just about winning a policy argument. And I think when it comes down to this sense of a prospect of violence, right, a violence might break out. That to me is an area where we should put down our political weapons and try to calm things down.
The name of the book, Network of Lies, the epic saga of Fox News, Donald Trump, and the battle for American democracy. It is getting rave reviews, as I said. You have a top 5 for us before you get out of here? A top 5?
I do have a top 5 for you. Can you handle it? Are you ready?
Well, what's it about? 5
ways Fox engineers a radicalized audience. How does the audience get so radicalized? I've got the ways.
All right. Number 5.
Number 5 is shouting the lie and whispering the truth. They're really loud about the lie and they only whisper the truth.
Number 4.
That actually worked. Avoiding inconvenient truths, for example, with the pro-life
Hold on
debate.
Hold on a second. Avoiding inconvenient truths.
That's right. Okay, I'm getting the hang of it. Here's what they do. When they're talking about pro-lifers, when they're talking about people who want to expand abortion rights, they say, they just must be brainwashed. They don't want to accept the inconvenient truth that actually a majority of Americans want that kind of freedom.
Number 3.
Clip, clip, clip. Hey, there it is. What they do is they clip these, tiny out of context clips. Let's say, a fist fight in a CVS or, some argument on the street in San Francisco. They portray cities and liberal areas as these hellscapes, as these Armageddon, these apocalyptic places, just based on out of context clips.
Number 2,
using the memory hole.
Go on.
They just bury stories down the memory hole. The stories that hurt too much. Stories like Trump losing the election.
Baby.
They just pretend things they don't want to hear about. They pretend they never happen.
Number 1,
respecting the audience. This is the most Orwellian phrase in my book. The executives at Fox talk about we need to respect the audience. We need to respect the audience by not insulting them with the news of Biden's victory, by not telling them how much Trump lost. And of course, you get that by respecting the audience. They're actually disrespecting the audience. They're actually radicalizing the audience by trying to keep the truth from them.
Brian, thank you for joining us and congratulations on the book, sir.
Thank you. Great talking with you.
Likewise.
Don Batard.
Ravens could double up the Colts, and they are good against every team except the Steelers. I mean,
so that's a 14-point win there for the Ravens.
Yeah. Double up, 2 touchdowns.
Stugotz.
I think double up is a score. Like if the Colts have 10 and you double them up, you score 20. I don't think double
that's
up.
That's how you do it. I do it differently.
Okay, but I don't think that double them up. Like you explained it to me as if I was supposed to.
I have my way.
I understand, but that's not technically doubling up. Like I think you used the phrase wrong or something happened.
Double up plus 4.
Yes,
exactly.
Okay, that's what he meant. Of course.
2 touchdowns.
You never cease to amaze me.
He's amazing. He really is. He's breathtaking in his stupidity.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
All comedy needs a little bit of tension in it. You got to have a little bit of tension, and we have escalated to a place where Billy Gill and his Iron Fist are being tested by Stugotz and potential shirtlessness. We have until Thanksgiving to get the payoff of 1 hour of televised guts. Bring your own guts.
I know this is all part of the one big setup to get Stugotz to take his shirt off, but Billy just took away our golden helmet of life.
He did.
You just said that's no longer a thing.
You guys haven't been following the rules. You guys have been willy-nilly.
We haven't.
No,
you and Tony have been cheating.
You and Tony are the biggest cheaters.
No,
there hasn't been a black helmet of death in there. I looked. You took it out. You and Tony are the biggest cheaters in this game.
You did an investigation.
You should not be punishing us because you're a cheat.
What did your investigation show you?
Last week,
I looked through the bucket.
Week, you and Tony's hands were in the bucket at the same time.
Same time.
And then Tony's emerged with the yellow.
Wait, Mike, you went helmet by helmet?
No,
I went helmet by helmet.
Really?
What? Excuse me.
It has not been pulled in 2 years. I started getting suspicious.
It's been longer than that because if I'm going to be honest with you, I believe that helmet still lives in Allison Turner's purse and has been there since like 2018.
Oh my God!
Yeah, like that was taken out by her when things were getting out of control with punishments and people were hospitalized, and she's like, "Okay, this is going to be removed so that there's no more, ill will towards this segment, and things are done on the up and up." That was like a very parental moment, I'd say, by her, where she's like, "This can't exist anymore, where people are just getting double death because we may actually arrive on death's door." So that lived in her purse for some time.
What a breaking bit of news there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Billy, for your disclosure, for your honesty, because we all just assumed that you were up to illegal cheating tactics and that you were abusing your power as commissioner.
I wasn't even commissioner at the time that this was removed, but management stepped in and like, guys, things are getting a little cray.
Who's management? Yeah. Who was management?
I can't say.
What? Is it Mike?
It certainly wasn't me. More hospitalizations.
No, Mike wanted like quadruple deaths.
Yeah, more onions.
That Liam Chapman.
Mike put a grenade in there one time.
I did.
Oh, the babysitter?
I did.
It was Trog.
We had a liability issue? We had a liability issue I did not know about.
Come on.
Once Billy was
one
hospitalized.
measly little hospitalization.
For eating an onion.
It was just a good scare. Come on. Put it back in there. Either way, the golden helmet of life is a good thing. You can't take that away.
You guys have been abusing the golden helmet. It's been getting pulled at a ridiculous rate.
It's you and Tony.
No, falsehoods.
All right, even the Reaper's over here just shaking his
the
head.
Reaper last week confirmed for us. The Reaper doesn't speak. We asked him yes or no questions. We asked, were there nefarious hijinks involving Billy and Tony? And the Reaper gave it up.
The Reaper also admitted that
snitch.
The Reaper can't see what's going on and just kind of going along with it.
All right. I don't want to discuss this anymore. I've got a series.
Also, the Reaper at this point is overworked like the rest of us, so he's like, I got to do something else here. So
look at this. I have video evidence right now.
And you don't want to get the Reaper's thoughts.
I have video evidence of you.
Hold on.
Look, you were handed a helmet in your hand. You were handed a helmet by the Reaper.
Reese,
that was not last week. That was
in Los. We were in Los Angeles.
You took advantage of us being in LA.
Not even slick. It's just a clear.
Well, okay. If we were going to come clean about everything, we could come clean about that as well, if you'd like to. And by the way, that punishment is no longer valid anyways, because that's been like 3 months. So what is it?
So you cheated,
whatever.
but you cheated.
Well, no, okay.
You cheated the game. You cheated yourself.
No, you and Dan weren't here, so you don't know what happened. So I'm
looking at what happened.
I'm telling you what happened. So I was in there, and this back room here, a bunch of wise guys concocted this scheme in which Tony had a golden helmet in his sleeve. So Tony puts his hand in the bucket with the golden helmet in his hand in the sleeve that no one caught somehow. And then I'm sitting there with Stugotz, and as everyone picks, this group of jackals over here said, you know what? Billy, the Reaper's going to hand you the swab helmet. Take it. And I'm like, I'm trying to co-host, which I was not told I was doing, as I'm just there trying to do that. And
no one believes
it. You guys were 100% were all in on this thing and told me in my headset as he was walking in. And the Reaper can confirm that this
Billy's
happened
like, we're all going down. If I'm going down, you're all coming down with me.
Yeah.
The Stugotz is strong in that guy.
You're surprised by this?
You guys put me in this unenviable spot where I have to then go and try to slickly get it out of his hands, which I got away with it. I had to get the swap out of his hand. Now, that did happen. I will admit that happened. And you know what? I'm going to be a big man. And I will say, last week was 100% on the up and up. And I know that it doesn't look good because of things like that have happened and Tony cheating in the past. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw this week. Even though I am safe for 3 weeks, I'm going to say that counted as that.
Just
and
put the
I
golden
will now
helmet
do
back.
It.
Just
no,
stop cheating.
No one else.
Just stop
It's
cheating.
not me.
All right, I'm going to pick
Tony's
for
a
this
cheat.
week.
I'm
Let's
telling
get
you.
this
So
going.
we're going to hold on.
I'm guilty by association, and I don't even want to be associated with
You
him.
could play the music, and Chris Cody will go to the bucket in a second. How many people are going to the bucket? this
Every
48.
single one of us. And it's all brought to you
That's
by
another problem.
Kentucky Fried Chickens, 2 for $5 chicken wraps, new. I botched that.
That's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Let's
No, I'm
try
telling you,
this.
there's
I
options.
didn't notice.
There's
Let's
mac and
keep
cheese.
going.
Yeah.
Brand new copy. I'm sorry.
I thought I was
Start
buying
over,
yesterday. I was at KFC. I thought I was getting a brownie. I got a full brownie
What's
cake.
it?
Whoa,
What?
Mike, the mac and
What's
cheese
the,
wrap.
What's the fast food chain with the chicken? Not the other one.
Pollo
Good one.
Tropical.
The best one.
Finger
Brought to
looking
you
good.
by. Let me put on my broadcaster voice. Brought to you by Kentucky Fried Chicken's new 2 for $5 chicken wraps. Now in new mac and cheese, classic and spicy slaw. That's right. Chicken wraps are back at KFC. It's finger licking good.
Might have been more funny business going on back here just now. I don't even know what these guys are doing. All right, I have the Seahawks. The Seahawks are on Thursday.
Against the Niners.
Gonna put that one back.
Put it back.
They are 6.5-point dog at
You
home.
don't know if Gino's elbow is okay. You know Brock Purdy just had a perfect passer rating.
The underdog helmet. Yay, I'll get back to you on what I'm selecting here. Let me look
Cardinals
around.
are
About the
plus
mystery
one
of
at
Tim
home.
Boyle. That's-
The
it seems like a
Bengals
good
are
one.
+1 at home. The Falcons are +1 at home. Falcons are playing the Saints. Cardinals are playing the Rams.
I like the Jags, Chris.
Yeah, I was just going to say. Yep.
Texans are at home.
No.
Oh, Texans at home. I'm
Texans
sorry.
is what I'm
Yes,
doing. That game I
yes.
like. I'm going to go Texans +1.5.
Yes.
Over the Jags.
Yeah.
Yep.
Billy, go ahead and
So
select
now,
there.
to remind everyone, I am kind of giving up my 2 weeks of safety to participate in the name of the integrity of the bucket.
Chris Cody, does he presently have a...
I have the Broncos.
That was clean.
Why would I cheat
That
with
was
the
clean.
Broncos?
That was clean.
Well, the Broncos are hot.
All right.
I'm putting
At
that
home
back.
against
they're,
the Browns.
they're 2.5-point favorite at home. Oh, just put
It's
it right
back in.
Wow,
against
that
the
was
Browns.
quick.
Yeah.
I like a second draw. I don't care what it is.
You are
Same.
fearless.
Same.
Look at you. So
I got the Giants,
Oh.
so it blew up in my
boy.
face. They are
I get the
3.5-point dogs.
Patriots, though. They're playing the
Yep.
Patriots at
Winnable.
home.
Winnable
They're a
game.
3.5-point dog at home.
Tommy DeVito's been looking good.
They got the 1 week he looked good.
2 weeks.
Is it? Is it 2 weeks that he's looked good, or is it 1 week that he's looked good?
My quarterback is Zach Wilson. Any other quarterback looks good.
Tim Boyle.
I
Tim
have
Boyle
the
now, so.
Indianapolis Colts. They are playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home. They are a half-point favorite.
Keep it.
You seem thrilled about it.
I think I like that over.
Nobody asked you for your total. Roy, what are you doing?
I'm
You
gonna
throwing
put it back,
A
yeah.
2.5-point favorite. There aren't very many big favorites this week.
No,
3 or
that's
4
not
of
big
them.
enough. Oh no,
He put back
It's
a
Big Apple.
favorite.
He did.
The Big Apple, New York Giants, New York Jets, any New York team. It
I'm
doesn't
going
have
with the
to
New
be-
York Rangers. Dan, thank you very much.
All right.
I'll find out who the team is.
Okay.
You don't even need any information.
They're
who
the
they're
best of the
playing.
New York teams right now. Yeah.
Go ahead, Lucy.
I hate this bucket.
With the lights and the wig, I was just going to call you Jessica.
That's a fine.
That's a big fine.
Blonde
Who's
wig.
the,
She's wearing
I have the
blonde
Texans.
wig.
Who's the blonde girl?
Texans?
Yeah.
They're at home against the Jags. 1.5-point underdog, actually.
I'll keep this.
Good job, Smetty.
Fine.
The New York Rangers are playing the Pittsburgh Penguins on the road.
Ooh, Roy.
When is it?
Want to take that back? or-
Oh, something fell out.
The
Sorry.
Islanders?
Sorry.
Oh,
I'm not
boy.
looking. Can you just
Okay,
put that back
see.
in? That's sorry. Sorry about that.
Roy did that blindly.
Well, he just he believes in the Rangers.
Weird.
Definitely more than the Islanders.
Wizard of Oz helmet. I will take the Lions.
Okay. Yeah, that was very quick. The Lions are 7.5-point favorite at home on Thanksgiving against the Packers. An aggressive pick by Mike Ryan. Mike Ryan is deep in the gambling weeds, Stugotz. He knows every game being played everywhere, every hour, every underdog, every value, every inefficiency.
He's gambling again.
Stugotz is going into the bucket right
I'm
now.
going to rummage.
By the way, while you're rummaging, take
Yes.
your time. You're in it now with Swifties and Kelsey people because your take from earlier, people are putting it in your mouth.
That's
and
fine. I'm just trying to help out a friend.
He was just
that's
warning
it.
him about the
right.
take.
I know.
I'm not going to do
I'm
it.
just
for
saying,
business.
His
Yes.
take of taking out Kelsey because Kelsey is distracted.
I didn't take out Kelsey.
It has exploded.
No.
It is now. It is.
Talk about how she just keeps releasing the same album.
a lit fuse through
do
the
that.
internet.
Right.
Stugotz's hot take going after one of these famous and very handsome and popular Kelseys.
The Browns
Oh, great. Yes.
The what? the Browns are
that's a good pick.
Broncos.
Good pick.
Underdog.
That's a good pick.
Throwing it back.
2.5 point underdog. What's the name of the kid throwing for them these days? What is the name of their quarterback?
The consonants. DRT.
DRT.
DTR.
Yeah, it goes
the
by
DTR.
initials, that kid.
It's Joe Flacco.
Do not resuscitate DNR.
The kid.
That's right. The kid.
Who's a kid?
Kid
Mobile.
scored 13 points
Mobile.
last week. I didn't say mobile. You said that.
Mobile. Athletic.
Zagacki should have said it.
Jesus.
True athlete.
Stugotz.
Steelers.
Steelers are 1
This
point
is for Tony, though.
dog on the road.
But no Matt Canada
Cincinnati.
anymore.
No Joe Burrow.
I know. That was for Tony, though.
1 point favorite.
Are you picking for Jess, or?
I got the Cowboys.
Oh, Jess,
I
congratulations.
am picking for myself. I'm not.
You're keeping that one.
Good job.
All right, so Stugotz pick for everybody else. Go for it.
All right, here we go.
You're picking for Tony.
Dan still
now.
has to. I'll pick for Dan first.
No, you're picking
Dan's
for
got the
Tony.
Cowboys.
Is this Jess or Tony?
This is Tony. Cardinals.
1 point underdog at home against the Rams.
That seems like a good one.
I'll keep it.
This is how it worked when you guys were in LA.
Yeah, no
This is
kidding.
for Smetty.
With Billy cheating.
Yeah.
This is for Smetty.
I was forced cheating on me by this room.
The Broncos for Smetty.
2.5 point favorite.
They're playing the Browns.
against
You don't want that one. That one back.
That's a keeper.
saying it.
2.5 point favorite.
Yeah, but they
put
have
that
the
one-
kid at quarterback.
Yeah. Dorian something.
She had the Cowboys before, though. I'll keep it.
You tried to do that very dramatically. It was not very dramatic.
Dan has the Cowboys.
Dan has the Broncos.
Dan has the Cowboys. Stop doing this.
Okay.
Shirtless tomorrow. Is it going to be the local hour?
Spicy slaw.
I have the worst angle of anyone in this.
You do have a bad angle. We've got to.
Brother, I'm not sure there are any good ones left. I gotta be real with you. You're systematically taking away the angles.
I want to hide, though.
But this is the worst of the angles.
The Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz is sponsored by BetterHelp. The holiday season can stir a wide range of emotions, and the specific emotions experienced can vary from person to person. While many people associate the holidays with feelings of joy, warmth, and togetherness, it's essential to recognize that the holiday season can also evoke various other emotions, both positive and negative. Adding something new and positive to your life can counteract some of those feelings. Therapy can be a bright spot amid all the stress and change. Having something to look forward to make you feel grounded and to give you the tools to manage everything going on. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Remember that it's okay to take care of yourself during the holiday season. Prioritizing self-care and managing stress is essential for enjoying the holidays and maintaining your well-being. Find your bright spot this season with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/DLB today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/DLB.